I can't possibly have babies because of climate change. You know?
Right, which is nonsense.
No, of course.
But I do think it's crazy that I'm about to be 34 and I have no family. Because my dad had 2 kids by the time he was 27.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, you know what the problem is, though? It's definitely not me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's everybody else.
Yeah.
But here's the point. This is not for little kids, whereas almost every other of the fireside chats, I don't care if your 7-year-old watches this. In fact, I hope your 7-year-old does. But this one is on sexual matters. Men get turned on by any side of female flesh on almost any female.
This is what a lot of men do want. Like you can say it shouldn't be like this, which is a conversation we can have, but just being mad in response to reality.
Oh, she's having a hissy fit there, Heidi. And I think it's funny, you know, because if you actually look at it statistically from a macro perspective, being financially attractive is one of the greatest attraction to females. So I would wager.
Generally speaking, I'm a pretty average young woman in America. I'm a social justice activist. I attend a lot of climate change rallies. And when I'm not working to advance the causes of socialism, I write postmodernist feminist slam poetry.
This looks good.
This looks good.
If sex doesn't mean anything, why would any woman feel violated by an uninvited touch? Do you think a man whose leg is touched by a woman he doesn't know feels as violated as a woman does when her leg is touched by a man she doesn't know?
I'm Dennis Prager.
Which, by the way, was why I wrote my last book, The Alpha Female's Guide to Men and Marriage, because that is part memoir, and it sort of tells my story of inadvertently
I've seen a lot of rhetoric that women want egalitarian relationships. They want to be with equal partners.
Yeah.
But then everything we actually see is not the case. It's not the case.
Wow, okay. Not vegan, good to know.
And he was a religious guy. He came over to me one day, Dennis, I did a survey of the guys in our class, and I came to the conclusion that 1 out of every 10 thoughts a guy has is not about sex.
Don't date this guy, right? That's genetic death. It's the rejection sharpshooter that takes off your balls. Genetically, they are warriors, because a warrior can end your bloodline if he kills you before you have children or kills your children as well. Women can do the same thing.
The original idea was that men were supposed to act with honor and chivalry in protecting women, and women were supposed to look for example, relationships just as men were. Sexual activity was supposed to be confined, this was at least the ideal, was supposed to be confined to committed relationships, particularly marriage. Not everybody lived up to that, but a huge number of people did. In fact, once people got pregnant, people basically got married.
Quarter Black Garrett, you know this. My wife is no shrinking violet. And sometimes she'll come in, for example, she really helps with work sometimes. Like we're moving into a new space and she helps decorate. But every now and then she comes in and she'll like overstep her bounds because she doesn't work for the company. She never has. She just comes in to help support me. And I have to look at her like, sweetie, this person is my manager. Stop it. Stop it. I'm not trying to dominate you. I just don't want you to this is overstepping boundaries.
Yeah.
I don't have a better term than nesting instinct. Like they want to make sure that their surroundings are as comfortable as possible, so they're more inclined to want to clean them.
And I've learned an immense amount because I have had thousands of people call in and send me emails. This is not just stuff that I knew on my own. This is stuff based on talking to so many men and women who open up to me. And so I get the argument, a woman will call up, what are you talking about? Oh, you don't think that I'm turned on by a really good-looking man? Okay, so let me answer that. There are so many answers to this question. Well, aren't women also visually aroused?
Yes.
It's the hydrogen bomb. It's the transistor. Like, it's a major league transformation in human interaction. Women are now free from involuntary reproduction. That's never been the case in the entire history of the planet. Okay, we don't know exactly what to do about that.
I'm a couple weeks away from being 34, but I grew up at a time I was coming of age when these social media platforms were being built, so I exploited all of them.
Yes,
I had a very normal teenage years and 20s and everything, dating, hooking up, partying, all the good stuff. And I skateboarded all the time, and I was arrogant, cocky, just awful person, all that. And the ladies loved it. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but
they spend less time with friends and more time with family. They go to bars less and to church more.
And that's how you take discourse out back of the woodshed and put a bullet in its head. So yes, I'm going to generalize, and not you guys so much, but whenever this ends up out on the web, people are going to be like, exception, 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 exception.
And if you're looking at this, you would look like you've succeeded,
Also, what is this supposed to be about? Transgender rights? The baby's not choosing their own gender? It's a baby. What do babies know about gender confusion?
I guess that's sort of where it's just values just get conflated with what we're taught. Like it's just sort of a
yes and no. I mean, there are no values to math. Right? There are no values.
Well, math, right? But
there are no values to biology. There are values to history, which is why it's dicey and it's disingenuous what the left has done with the education system. There are multiple perspectives on history, and the monopolistic takeover of the liberal arts is a real problem.
Yeah, magazine featuring men's legs for women to look at and get aroused by. Again, that doesn't mean women never get turned on by merely looking at some men. Of course they do.
Patriarchy, wage gap.
Travesty, but if women do make more men, then it's sad.
It's unattractive, and they're like,
I don't want to date you. You don't make as much money as me.
Right. And then
they would actually say that being a part of a family is what Nazis do, but there's nothing Nazi about this.
Should I bring more of my inner censor to bear on the conversation or not? No? Okay. All right, then I'm going to just not. Okay.
So I've basically walked away from it, just like, ugh, it's trash. But there was a period where it was like, I don't know if you've seen the Family Guy episode where Quagmire discovers Tinder. And
yes.
And he's like hunched over and he's like, swiping.
like a troll. Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Gollum.
If I were to go to dinner with you and there were to be a waiter there and I were to direct the waiter to you, obviously we would go based off your physical appearance. But the argument for transgender people is that if you looked like me, you could still be transgender woman.
A whole host of proofs. The most, well, I don't know if it's the most obvious proof, but an obvious proof is what men watch on the internet. It used to be in magazines. Now, of course, it's on the internet.
And don't be afraid to go after it and not pay attention to how that affects the women around you. And don't be afraid to be assertive with them or in general, despite the fact that you're being told that you're sexually harassing them. Now, that's not to say that they should. I mean, you really do have to be careful today. So I'm not.
No one here is advocating sexual harassment.
30-year-old career women are having trouble finding men.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember the
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was trouble. I do air quotes because I was laughing the whole time. It was awesome. I'm like, look at all these tweets. It was hilarious. The feminists are so mad. You know what the problem is, though? It's definitely not me. I think it's everybody else.
Yeah.
Hey, you. Yes, you. Do you like cozy environments with other wholesome people? Well, then come join the Discord. It's got a whole bunch of stuff to help you with creative endeavors, such as stock footage, royalty-free music, and an amazing community of people looking to help each other out and uplift your content. Join the Discord now by going to weareserfs.com. That's weareserfs.com. Do you enjoy the Serfs brand of humor, but also want to have daily news from the Serfs? Then you should check out our brand new channel, The Serf Times. It's daily news, seasoned with delicious flavors. Come check it out today, link in description. Did you enjoy what you just watched and now crave more nectar of the damned? Did you know that if you're watching on YouTube, you're only getting half the surfy experience? We upload all of our content commercial and censorship free to our Patreon. Due to the general demonetization of our videos, we now upload half of our original content directly to those who can help us produce this show. Want even more nectar than that? Well, come join us at twitch.tv/TheSerfsTV, where we do weekly live streams, debates, interviews, AMAs, and more. If you're an Amazon Prime member, you can help support our show 100% free by subscribing to our Twitch channel. So come join us, be merry, and know that your support is helping us do great things.